welcome to another edition of the Voice of the Vet Isolation Chamber, I call it dungeon. And
Cone of Silence.
Yeah, Cone of Silence. We're what is this day? 21 or something like that? Staying at home.
Month 21, I think.
Yeah, could be that too. But so I just want to welcome everybody here today. But before we get started, we have Marcel with us today. It's been a while, I know. So we sent a team over to his place, brought him back here, kicking and screaming the whole way. But he's okay now. Drugs are good. Better living through chemicals.
But just want you to know, we're sitting almost 7 feet apart. Number one. Number two, I sprayed my entire body down with Lysol while my mouth and eyes were open. So if I look a little red-eyed, you're gonna go.
Oh, you know what? Before we get started,
And?
I got you a gift.
What? Seriously?
Seriously.
Oh, wow. Geez, you're the best friend ever, Quagmire. Here, Stewie, put this upstairs. No. Come on, put it upstairs and I'll let you play with the time machine. Ooh, the fat man is attempting to ply me with 2-ply.
That's it. There's Marcel. We're back. All right. We were going to say Marcel's his house and I'm at my house, but no, like you heard him say, we are more than 6 feet away, and he just lives across the street, so it's good. Nobody was outside. Nobody saw him, so you can't prove a thing. But let's talk a little bit about the COVID garbage we're going through.
What?
Sadie, the voice of the vet dog, what she told me?
What did she tell
She
you?
took off. So the camera's on. Get out of
She'll
here.
be back in the most inopportune moment.
Yeah, absolutely. But Sadie told me that she knows what COVID stands for.
Okay.
I mean, she actually spoke it to me. So how do you go wrong with a talking dog? You don't.
Well, we may want to check your fever after this, but go ahead.
Slightly. It stands for Chinese originated viral infectious disease. My dog thought of that. Well, you know what she was doing, though? She was hanging out with Mike earlier in the day, so I think he might have influenced her a little bit.
You know what's funny is they go, oh, you can't call it, you're being a racist and a xenophobe calling it Chinese virus, or the Wuhan virus. Oh, shut up.
Who invented the damn thing?
What are we going to do? Stop calling German measles, or Asian flu, or, it's where it came from.
Sponsorships are available. I love Jersey Mike says great stuff. Yeah, it's their fault.
Well,
just be aware of your camera going brrr. What's it do? Brrr. Yeah, like that. So let's we're tired of it. Yes. Come on. They started it. That's why all these lawsuits are against the Chinese government. We have nothing against the people of China at all. It's not their fault. They're victims before we were. And they were fighting to have their their democracy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, and it was getting ugly. I mean, if they do this to their own people, it begs the question, what are they willing to do to people of other countries? It's just a question.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying they're not. It's just a question. My dad always told me, never get anywhere in this world unless you ask questions.
That's right. All right. Do we want to talk any more about the...
Oh,
we'll say this.
Okay, say this.
Here in Nevada, Governor Sisolak has put out the rules, the laws. Follow them. It's not that hard, people. Look at World War II. Remember when World War II started? That's your time, isn't it?
I was young, but I remember it.
People, when the war broke out, people couldn't wait to sign up. They wanted to do something for the country. And look what they did. Oh, my God. Their lives are on the line. We lost so many people during the war. But they went there to help and to defend our country, our freedoms, and everything else. All they're asking us to do now...
I know.
Go ahead, you say it.
All right. Here's the thing. What our sacrifice is to stay home, sit on the couch. You had a roof over your head, a bed to sleep in, food in the refrigerator, free time to do all your binge watching. And people are complaining. Now, our worst situation at any given day of the year, hundreds of millions of people around the world would kill for that kind of life.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, we're so spoiled, and we
Like
feel
my dog.
you know, I just don't get. Oh, all right, this is something else that chaps my butt.
He does have a chapped butt. He walks around like that. It's chapped. Okay, sorry.
You know who really gets me? Because I spend a lot of time on Facebook.
Boy.
Is the armchair quarterbacks that constantly bitch at the president and the team that's working on it. They all have opinions of what they think should be being done. Let me tell you something. They brought back, what was it, 50,000 American citizens that were stranded in other countries? 50,000 in a matter of a few weeks? Do you have any idea the logistics that one thing alone takes?
But I'm sure you're going to tell us.
And, you know, to just constantly complain and moan and, they should be doing this, they should be doing that. Let me tell you something. There's an old saying. No matter what you think you know, there are things you don't know. And there are things you don't know you don't know. So, unless you're going to do something productive, shut up. Quit complaining. Quit making people wrong and getting ugly. Keep your ugly to yourself, because putting your opinion, and you know what they say about opinions. They're like buttockle areas.
Buttockle areas.
Everybody's got one. To post your negative opinion on Facebook accomplishes zippo. It doesn't do anything. It accomplishes nothing. I'll tell you what it does accomplish. It feeds the need of your ego to judge.
This is the Life Coach Hour with Marcel.
To judge, make people wrong, complain, but it fixes nothing and does nothing. Maybe there's a part of you that thinks that somehow by posting your negative things that somehow you're going to change people's minds to make them think what you think and believe what you think. What are the odds of somebody doing that for you, changing your mind? Is there anything anybody could possibly say that's going to change your mind 180? Hey, no. So
Be more fights than there are now.
So let's keep the unless you're going to start your own whatever and correct everything. Keep your negative opinions to yourself. It just shows the ugliness coming out. You really want people to see your ugliness? Is that what you want to do? Is that what you want to do?
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands and wash your heart. All right.
There you go.
All right, that's enough ranting.
That's the Marcel Hour on life coaching. Well, you know, both of our dads were in the military. And Marcel's dad was in World War II, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My dad was in the Korean War. And he was a crew chief on a B-29. Your dad
was not in the Air Force because the Air Force didn't
Right.
exist yet.
It was the Army Air Corp.
It was called the Army Air Corp, which was really funny because when I went years ago, when I went to go look up to see about getting benefits for Mom, they said, what branch of the service was he in? I said, well, he's in the Air Force. We don't have him listed here. You think they would have thought World War II? No. And he was in the Army Air Corps of B-52.
No.
B-24 Liberator, left waist gunner
I even knew that.
in England. Well, it's because you're a plain guy.
Yes.
You're very plain.
Very plain. But I did get a haircut. Look, the COVID.
I wouldn't show him.
Well, I'm going to. COVID. Look what COVID did to me.
Oh, boy, you're not going to need a haircut now for about 4 months.
Oh, year. The older I get, the less my hair grows. I'm like, oh, God, it will never grow out. That's okay. It's only hair.
He was over there stationed in Hardwick, I believe. Hardwick Air Base there in England.
Okay.
Was over there for a few years. And Yeah, he made it. A lot of his friends didn't. His best friend, Goldie, they were butt buddies. I mean, they were just really close. They did funny comedy skits and they entertained the troops.
Yeah.
And one day, my dad, I think, let me get this story correct. Siren goes off. Now, my dad was in his dress. Dress.
Did Dad wear a dress?
He wore a dress, but it was a military dress. Come on!
All right. Okay.
He was in his dress, whatever they call it, outfit, military.
Yeah.
And so the siren goes off. So he grabs his, whatever you call them, airplane clothes, and he gets in there.
Flight suit, maybe?
And the plane lurched. And when it did, he fell forward and hit his head. But what was in the front of his dress cap was one of those round things with a nail. You know, the nail.
It's a screw. Yeah.
I mean, it was like a pointy nail that just goes there. And it went in his... It stuck in his skull a little bit.
Oh.
And he's like, hold it!
That's purple art stuff right there.
He's like, oh, pop! And blood started coming down. I said, all right, go ahead, leave. And I'm almost positive this is the story. And his body was on the plane.
Uh-huh.
Plane didn't come back. Shot down his best buddy.
Oh, that sucks.
And because of that accident that my dad had, well, I certainly
Saved
wouldn't
his
be
life.
here. You'd be doing this show alone.
Oh. Wow. No.
And here's a little PTS. And I didn't understand PTS back then. Remember when the space shuttle blew up?
Oh, yeah.
We were sitting around. I was at my parents' house. We were sitting around the table. My dad was telling a story about something. He was always a happy-go-lucky guy. Always, very animated. He's telling a story, and the TV was on in the den next to the kitchen, and it came on. It was live time, and the space shuttle blew up, and the reporters were like, "Oh my God! Well, the space shuttle just blew up," and we kind of reacted the same way. Oh my God! But my dad didn't hear it because he was talking, telling a story, and he said, "What?" He says, "What? What happened?" I said, "The space shuttle blew up," and like that, he started bawling. No beat, no breath, no nothing. He just put his face in his hands. And I know that triggered.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
When they told him his buddy's plane blew up.
Yeah.
And died.
Yeah.
That all those years later, and it was like boom! It was instant.
Yeah.
So powerful.
Almost like muscle memory and his brain memory.
Oh yeah,
memory
those
goes back. It's still there. It's filed way deep, and all of a sudden, bam.
Anyway.
Wow.
So.
How long was he in? 4 years? 2 years?
I think 3.5.
Okay.
Almost 4 years.
All right.
And then he came home, and that was it. War ended, and
Well, yeah.
married mom, and 8 years later, ta-da!
Scary thought. Now you got David, your brother. What's your whole family?
Well, I'm the oldest. My sister, Deborah, is 1.5 years younger than me.
Okay.
My brother, Michael, 5 years younger than me, but he passed away about 7 years ago.
Has it been 7 years?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
Wow.
pancreatic cancer. And then David, who lives here in Vegas, he's 11 years younger. So four of us.
Here's Sadie, the voice of the dog. Wonder you're on here. Come here. Okay. Say hi to everybody. Oh, you got your vest on? You're all pretty.
She looks official and everything.
She says, what? I'm with Dad. I'm wagging my tail. I'm on TV. I told him about what you said about Corona and how you were talking with Mike and figured it out, and you called it, you gave it the acronym, right? Acronym, is what it's called.
Listen, not only does he believe that Sadie told him that story,
Oh,
there's nobody here named Mike.
oops. What's Mike doing over there? Is Tim over there too? No? Tim's got his mask on. Did you fart? No? You good girl? You in high school?
No, she doesn't. She fluffs.
Fluff. No, she farts. Trust me.
Okay.
Don't you?
That's because all that lovely human food you feed her, that fast food.
She buys it herself. Oh, you want this?
All right, so what are we going to talk about today? What else? How about your dad? Where he was in Korea?
Yeah, my dad was in the Korean War. You went down or something? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah. Otherwise, all they're seeing is her ass where your face should be.
Oh, sorry.
Not that they would be able to tell the difference.
Dog ass and me. Yeah, my dad was in Korean War, and he was stationed out of Okinawa. He was a crew chief on a B-29, and this really bothered me because I videotaped him. Excuse me, I filmed him. Can't go back to the old videotape days. Talking about his time in the service. I put it on one of the hard drives. I can't find it anywhere. I went through it all. You know, it'll come up one day because I talked to him. He talked about his tool and die shop that he had with my grandpa and the train they built with a mile of track, in which there'll be links to those things down there. But the stories he had about the planes that didn't come back, or the planes that came back with no tail, or part of a wing, and the crash landings on the base. He has some pictures of that, which I have. Jeez. And I'm going to do his page, and we'll put some of those pictures on there. But yeah, his some of his best buddies didn't make it back, and some that did make it back that were wounded either made it or they unfortunately passed away. But I'll never forget, and I hope this guy's family hears this. One of his best buddies was Ed Kalinsky. I don't know how I remember that. I mean, I have to look at my license in the morning and half the time see who I am. That's really amazing. But I also, like, when I was in the service, our service number was our social security number, right? They gave them assigned numbers. It was two digits at a time. And I remember it. I don't want to say it on film here, just in case, but I know it. I got his dog tag.
Wait, you know the guys?
No, I know my dad's service number. Wow.
Dad's passed.
I know.
Doesn't matter. And none of you have
okay,
to share
16, 36, 37, 11. Well, I got his dog tags hanging up there with some B-29s and, as a memory to him.
Sure.
I put those in his, when he fell and broke his hip later in life, and he was in the, what do you call those things, assisted living, rehabilitation centers.
Rehab,
yeah. Yeah, he was there for, 2 years at least, maybe longer. But he made that place a happy place because my dad didn't know a stranger. Right. Not one. Like you and your dad, And we wonder where Marcel gets his entertainment from. His dad's wearing dresses in the Army Air Corp, entertaining people.
Military dress.
Military dress, excuse me. Anyway. But, so he would sit there and he would welcome people coming into the nursing home. And he knew so many people in the air anyway from the train and everything else. So they'd come in, and if Russ wasn't sitting there,
something was wrong.
Yeah, they'd go right down to his room. Russ, you okay? So, yeah, I'm just taking a rest, taking a little break. And they'd sit down and talk to him for an hour. Then they would go see their family member. I'm like, wow. But, that's the kind of guy he was. And I think, when you're younger, when you're a kid, sometimes you don't fully listen to your dad.
At all?
In my case, maybe, yeah. And I think if I would have listened to my dad more, I did, but it didn't stick. I'm like, yeah, I'm a teenager. I know it all, right? Moron. But I think I would have been more successful in my endeavors. because everything he did, he was the president of. Whether it was the Lions Club multiple times, it was the over at the high school, the I forgot what they call them. It's like the support for the different teams, Boosters Club. He was a president of that multiple times. Every organization he got in, he ended up being the president of because of his work ethic, his morals, his ethics, his everything. It was amazing. And, here
Well, now, wait a minute.
I did okay, but man, he did.
No, I didn't say you did okay. What I'm saying is, how proud might he be of you if he saw what you've done to date for veterans?
Well, the good stuff. Oh, the veterans. Okay, probably proud of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. And he knows because he was alive just as I started it back in Michigan. Mm-hmm. And then he passed. So, that's the toughest thing in the world, to see your dad take his last breath, I was like, shit. And my mom, too. So, I'm the oldest one in the family. My poor family. They're like, you live in Las Vegas, right? Yeah, we're in Michigan? Okay, bye. But,
wait, where's your patriarch? Las Vegas.
Yeah. But, it's, I look at it, I went through that rough time with my dad, to where I thought I knew everything.
And you were the only one.
And I was the only one who thought that. Yeah, absolutely.
I never thought that way.
You look back on things that you did in your life, I do anyway, and I think, man, that's embarrassing that I even did that or thought that, or, I was even, now, because, I'm more mature, I hope. Yeah.
Oh, you're serious?
Sure. But like even with my my sports, my background, when I went to the tryouts I had as a kicker, and I at one time he said to me, he says, "Yeah, not gonna make it."
He said, "I'm sorry, what?"
He said, "Nah, you're probably not gonna make it." I said, well, thanks. So, but he did that for me and not to me, because my focus was stronger. Okay, I said, "Now I'm making this."
Really, Dad? Hold my beer. I mean, knee high.
So I got as far as I could, then I got hurt, and then played a few preseason stuff, games, but that was it. But the fact is that I did it, and same with college. But it was. I look back on it now with a more mature look, and it was like, I get it. He needed to do that to me at the time because of where I was mentally. Thinking that, not thinking about the whole scope of things and all the things that had to be done to it. I know that now, but I'm too damn old. I couldn't kick my way out of a paper bag right now, probably. But
yeah, but look at your legacy with your kids, and particularly past 20 years, single-handedly raising Lance.
Yeah, I mean, my kids, that's my world. My kids and my grandkids, that means everything to me. And I don't care if I ever do anything else from this point. My pride and joy are my kids and my grandkids. That. If you don't think that, you're a moron. You really. But and whenever I talk to people, I'm out and about and they got kids and they want to come up and meet Sadie or whatever, we're talking, and we always get on the subject of kids. If their kids remind me of my grandkids or my daughters or Lance, we talk about that. I say, and they're young, I'll say, enjoy every single nanosecond of this, because before you know it, they got kids of their own. And you're like, what the hell happened? So, I mean, it's that fast.
Well, at least you have a gauge.
Yeah.
I mean, I never had kids. It just, married twice, just didn't work out. Mind you.
I was married twice and it didn't work out. Second one was my fault.
But you had kids. I mean, I was in a band on the road in the 70s. So, I mean, if I have kids, they're in their late 40s now anyway.
Because you don't know about them.
They're not going to come back. Dad?
Are you? Yeah.
So,
that's why Well, when Lance and I, when he was little, we went and saw the Adam Sandler movie. What was it? Click. Yeah, about with the real control and everything. About, oh my God, we sit there and watch the thing. At the end, I looked at him, he looked at me, and we both had tears in our eyes. If you want to see something to wake you up and make you think or realize time is short, spend as much time as you can with your family. Watch that movie. It's incredible. It'll get you. So.
And this is we're being forced to do things that maybe we haven't taken so much time to do.
Right.
One of the things is, getting to spend quality time with your family, your kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're going stir crazy, but you know what? So did you when you were their age.
Yeah.
Love them.
Well, hell, when we were kids, we didn't have the games and stuff like that. We didn't get the Pong didn't come out until I was in my teens or something like that,
Yeah.
But we'd go across the street into the woods. We'd make a fort. We'd explore or whatever. We played our train or slot car machines. I made stuff. Listen to this. I took half of a ping pong table, a wooden ping pong table, cut the legs off so it sat lower, right? And it was green. And I built stands in the outfield for a baseball field, right?
Okay.
And it was a Denny McClain baseball game, pitcher from the Tigers back in the mid to late '60s. And what it was just a piece of tin on another bent piece of tin. You put this ball on. It was wood, and it had a little magnet in it. And you went back here and went like that. You flicked it, and it threw the ball in the air. And you had a little bat on a little tube, a rubber tube. Held it back, and then you let it go, and it would hit the ball. I made a better one. And we had the little, 6 or 8 inch figures of Major League Baseball players. My idol at that time was Frank Howard, played for the Washington Senators. Big man, 6'8". So we had them out there in their positions. And then the guy who was batting, you take his little figure out there and stand him by the side of the plate he batted from. And the other guy would flick the thing, and the batter would hold the bat back and let it go. Oh my God, we hit some massive home runs. Because it was powerful. And it would go out of off the table, like holy crap, Mickey Mantle or Frank Howard hit one out of Tiger Stadium in real life. It was like that. And I had rows of seats in there from molding that you would put on the floor. I built all this in my dad's shop. Of course, with my dad and my grandpa's supervision, they helped me. But oh my God, I still have some of it. I don't have the whole thing, but I have some of it. What great times. Hours and hours and hours my brother and I would play with that thing. It was like real. Nobody else had it. We'd have friends come over like, what? And they'd want to play. They just come over and walk in the house and, can we play? That's what you did back then, You text somebody, say, I'll be over in 5 minutes. You did that, you're like, what? It wasn't even invented. But yeah, we made things happen, didn't we?
Well, yeah.
And that's so cool. Man.
And, times change. But you can look at what we're going through right now as something really terrible and ugly and negative and complain about it and moan about it. Or you can go, okay, what might be my takeaway here?
Yeah.
What can I learn? What can I do? What can I find out about myself? What can I find out about you see it now, reports are coming out all over the world that cities that were so polluted, you couldn't go out with. They wore masks for years.
Look at L.A.
Yeah,
clear as a bell. Well, comparatively to what it used to be, you can see shit
maybe
now.
not mentally, but yeah. Sorry, the pollution is clearing up. Animals are roaming the streets now.
I saw that. Yeah, where are the people at? We're hungry.
Yeah. And somebody said about the seagulls. Now that there's not, because it was a joke. You saw a picture of a cartoon of a seagull going, "Hey, where's my French fries?" But what they're doing now is they were doing what seagulls do naturally. They don't dive bomb people for their French fries or whatever they're eating.
Right.
They're going down to the shore and picking on little fishies and whatever it is they do naturally.
Yeah, eat the crap.
It's amazing. I would love to see which I'm sure it is, parts of the decimated rainforest.
Oh yeah.
that they cut down or shave down to build a parking lot or whatever the heck it is. You know, these big mega conglomerate corporations that care no more about you, me, or the earth. They just want to rape the earth for finances.
Australia.
That's the lungs. You know, listen to me. What is the thing that, besides the typical fever, what is this COVID-19 affecting mostly?
Lungs.
The lungs. Now, isn't it funny that we've been screwing around, destroying the lungs of the earth, the rainforest, the ecosystem, that's how the earth breathes and creates what we get to breathe.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a tree hugger by nature, but common sense, you know. And now all those things are getting a chance to go,
Yeah.
and start to grow back. You know, look at what happened when we back in the day, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You know, that fried for just hundreds of miles, just killed everything. But you know what? Mother Earth decided when it was time to start growing back vegetation and flowers and trees. So, interesting stuff happening. So, take a look inside too, people. You know, look, ask questions. Go look inside. If you're not happy with what's going on the outside, you can't get outside, go inside. You might learn something.
Dr. Forestieri, that's another life coaching moment.
That's Mr. Dr. Forestieri.
Mr. Dr. Forestieri guy. But you know, look at what happened with Australia and those fires they had there. How ironic. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mike. How ironic. See, there's a guy named Mike here. That those fires were right where they wanted to build certain things, right? And clear the land. Now these fires, they have to clear the land. But at what sacrifice? How many animals? One of the sickest things I've ever seen in my life.
Billions.
Yeah, billion. They said 1 billion, right? 1 billion animals died in Australia that they could gather. I mean, we're not counting the little tiny mice or whatever, I guess. But panda bears. Koala bears. It was sick to see those poor little things suffering like that, sitting there smoking and everything. You know, you would just like to get the people that did that and put them in that environment. Sorry. I'm just saying what I feel here. Because I'm a big animal guy. You know, I mean, as you know, got my dog, love my dog. I love whales and elephants and monkeys and all that stuff, right? And it's just a shame that they can't stand up and protect themselves. And here we are on this earth. We're supposed to be sharing everything with everybody. And we're killing the animals. 1 billion. 1 billion animals. Oh my God. I mean, as sad as it's to say, there's probably 1 billion people that aren't as good as the 1 billion animals that were killed. You know, it could be a harsh reality. Could be. I'm just saying.
It's a tough thing, but this has given us all now time to reflect and think.
Yeah.
Because we can't go out and do. You know, we're human beings, not human doings. If you're constantly going out and doing and doing and doing, you just create a bunch of doo-doo.
Remember that, you too.
You're welcome.
Our big audience today, our silent team members.
We'll throw one of those terrible sitcom laugh tracks.
Yeah, really.
Anyway, we can't go out and do and do and do and do.
I mean, we're following the orders that we're supposed to. These aren't suggestions from the governor now. They were at first, okay? Say, it's best that you stay inside so we don't spread this. The only way we're going to contain it is if everybody works together. Well, you got these people out there that just don't get it in the first place. No matter what you show them or tell them or put them through, they're just not going to get it. And they're going to wreck it for the rest of the people. So now he says, you know what? Now
Everybody out of the pool.
Yeah, you're going to listen to me now. So he's closing stuff down. Do you think that it was an easy decision to close down the Strip, the Las Vegas Strip, the most famous?
That's the heart and lungs of Las Vegas.
Yeah. Oh, I was talking to Peter the other day. I believe it was our chairman of the board. Yes, and even we were talking about it. He says, you know, the governor's had sleepless nights over this. Well, yeah, because he's got a heart, you know, and he didn't want to close this down and put 200,000 people out of work, but he had to save, even if it saved one life, it was successul. But
but which life? Well, what if the guy?
all depends
What if the guy
person.
was a real jerk? That's terrible. I can't believe
I can't
you
believe
would
I
even
said that.
make that kind of a joke. Don't write letters.
Yeah, really. We won't read them. Or comments. We'll erase them unless we like them. But anyway, just think about that. We gave the governor the Veterans Hero of the Year award from Voice of the Vet. And we didn't do it just because he's the governor. No, we did it because of his track record and his heartfelt actions to help veterans. I mean, people think, oh, well, yeah, you know, he did this, or oh, he doesn't do that. You know what? They have not met him. When I met him, this isn't suck up that what I'm saying here, but I met him. He's a real person. He's a real guy. And he's not one of these guys that comes across and says, well, I'm going to do this to make myself look good. No, that's I don't even think that's in his language. You know, he's I think personally, he's got my vote personally. I'll do anything I can to help him out. And I've already told him that. And Voice of the Vet, Peter and I have talked about this. We will do everything we can to help the governor and the attorney general out, who is also a great guy, Aaron Ford. We did an interview with him. It's on the website. Check it out.
Voiceofthevet.us. Once again, voiceofthevet.us.
But, you know, I look at it because, you know, we live right here in Las Vegas. We can see the Strip. We go right down the street and there it is. And in the daytime, it's just gray. You don't see any lights. At the dusk, it's pretty much gray too. Nighttime, Mike and I drove down the Strip the other day. We went to help one of his friends, right? It took two people. It wasn't kind of the best area. You know, you just want to be cautious. Both of us being ex-cops, we just want to make sure we're doing the right thing here. And we said, let's drive down the Strip. It's right on the way home. So we did. And I stuck my phone out the window and I'm taking videos and taking a few pictures. I was like, wow, is this weird? I mean, the only other time it was closed.
It looked like some post-apocalyptic Ben Affleck movie.
Well, it's got those cement dividers you see on the highway and stuff, you know, or on construction sites. Right at all the entrances, you cannot get on any property for any reason. There's police cars all over the place, you know, in strategic locations, which is really smart. They're doing a great job down there. And it's gray. It's really weird. The signs aren't even lit up on a lot. Like the Treasure Island, nothing. They had a little message in the middle. It was black with white letters that can't wait to see you soon, stay safe, or something like that, right? But as we're driving down, I'm thinking to myself, wow, he did this, the governor did this, not to us, or not to anybody, but for us, for our safety, our health. And thank you, Governor. Maybe some people don't say that. Mike's phone's going off, or Tim's phone's going off over there.
We don't want that on.
But you may not hear that a lot, but we appreciate you, and we thank you for what you're doing, and we're with you every step of the way. So that's from our hearts to you. So thank you.
All right, so if we're over 40 minutes.
I've got one. What's this called? Red vine rope or something
Red
like
Vine
that?
Twizzler.
No, it's a rope. It's thick. See, it's big,
Red Vine.
thick.
Just. So if we were to wrap it up.
Well, before we do wrap it up, we have to remind all of our viewers and potential sponsors that there are sponsorships available to support our show so we can keep doing it and getting the word out. Because let's face it does cost money. And even in these fine digs here in this wonderful makeshift studio, but you get to kind of see some of the stuff we got behind us. All like the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil up there, and my little monkey right here, and that Eminem guy right there. My daughter in high school, my middle daughter, went to Cancun, and she gave me that hat. You can see right there. There it is, and it says Cancun, whatever year it was. And so I put it on Eminem because I collect M&M things. I don't eat them much.
As much as you used to.
As much as I used to. But, this is us. You're not going to see us wearing suit and ties. You're not. No, I'm not going to.
We can.
We can. Here's a surprising thing about today, though. Marcel actually has pants on.
But they're not pulled all the way up.
They're not pulled all the way up. I can't tell you how many, lately since we've been stuck here in the home, I can't tell you how many of the videos I've done. And I'm sitting in my underwear wearing a shirt, but you can't see it. I make sure of that. So I got this black tablecloth right here. So, but anyway, to our potential sponsors and donors and things like that, if you want to help us, we are a nonprofit and we are totally legit, 100%. And our website again is Marcel.
voiceofthevet.us.
And as soon as we get all of our 501c3 information back from the government, I'm sure they're a little bit tied up right now. Are they even working?
You were on the phone 6 days the other day with them.
Yeah, and one was for 3 hours. Here's another thing too. I had to send a form to the.
Stop banging your hands on the table.
I had to send a form to Social Security, all right, because I get Social Security disability, and now that I'm
most months.
Most months, yeah. Now that I'm going to be 65 in May, they sent me a letter saying they're going to take out $134 for Medicare.
Part B. Probably.
Yeah, I don't want it. I've got the VA. I don't need it. And nor do I want it. And because I'm satisfied with my care.
Don't you have to sign up for that? I don't know that that's given to you
No,
automatically.
they sent me a letter saying they're going to do it. And it says right on there, if I dispute this, I have to fill out this form 1196. Tim, you know forms like the back of your hand. What's the one for Social Security? Any VA form, this man knows. Yeah, absolutely. Can cite it chapter and verse, front and back, upside down, and backwards. But I'd already filled out that form once before because they did it to me last year when I turned 64. I'm like, are we jumping the gun a little bit here? So I called them and I got through to them. First time I had to wait 2 hours. I said, yeah. So I called him back. Was it yesterday, Mike? I think it was just, yeah. And answered right away. I'm like, hello? Are you real? But yeah, the lady said, yeah, fill out the form. Now, right down the street, I heard of Buffalo. Turn right. We're talking, what is that, maybe a mile away, mile and a half away? Oh, our office is closed, so you have to mail it to us. I said, all right, well, since your office is closed, I have to mail it to the Buffalo office. I'm thinking, well, how are you going to get it? But that would be a logical question, right?
Well, I'm sure they have a extremely skeleton crew in there.
No, they have one person goes there and picks up the mail, takes it someplace else, apparently, and sorts it, and then gets it to the people that needs to be.
Have you seen the people that sit in that waiting room? The most sickly, coffee, sneezing, hacking.
I wouldn't want to be there either, guys. So good for you. Yeah, the people who work there, I feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
That-
Or they have like 6-inch thick plexiglass. You can't hear them when they're talking to you. They're like.
And they got pictures all over, so all you see is one eye.
I can't understand you.
Yes. Then security comes on the wall.
I'm gonna clean my hands with sanitizer. I've been touching my face this whole time.
Yeah, not me. I never touch my face.
Alrighty. Now
You got anything else?
No, I think we're good.
Mike, Tim, you got anything you want to add? Throw at us?
Yeah.
They said no.
Nothing.
All right.
All right, then. Well, Sadie, you got anything you want to add, honey? Really? Is that you do? Well, no, I don't want to say that. Sitting there wagging her tail.
All right, folks. Until our next podcast, to all of you out there, all of our viewers, watchers, listeners, and veterans,
And potential sponsors.
Yep, that's it.
we
Okay.
salute you.
Awesome, buddy.